Hello everyone, this is our tutorial for the next song in our schedule, and you're very welcome to it. So it's Tuesday tutorial time, and this week the song is Wichita Lineman. Brilliant song by the brilliant Jimmy Webb, and it was a huge hit around the world for the late lamented Glen Campbell. This is a fascinating song. Apparently, Glen Campbell kind of commissioned it from Jimmy Webb. He said he wanted a song with the name of a place in it as a follow-up to his previous hit, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, which was also written by Jimmy Webb. And so Jimmy Webb thought very long and hard and then came up with Wichita Lineman, which it's a brilliant song. In Rolling Stone magazine's list of 500 greatest songs of all time, this comes in at number 195, and a music journalist named Stuart McConey called it the greatest pop song ever composed, which might be a little bit of hyperbole, but I'm not going to argue with Stuart McConey, because anybody who can call his autobiography Cider with Roadies gets my vote. Top man. If you're a Radio 4 aficionado, you will be aware of the series Soul Music. It's put out during the mornings on Radio 4, and it takes one single song and various people, well-known people, contribute to the programme with the effect that the song has had on them. And this song features in one of those Soul Music episodes. It's available on what used to be called iPlayer Radio, but I believe is now BBC Sounds. So if you're interested at all, it's well worth checking out. Okay, now, the structure of the song is, well, it's incomplete really, because it's only two verses. And Jimmy Webb was going to write a middle eight, a bridge passage, and a third verse. But he never got round to it because Glen Campbell went to the studio and recorded it, and it was released as is, with an instrumental break taking the place of the middle eight. The song has become quite iconic, really. It's in the key of F major. Our tutorial and Glen Campbell's recording is in the key of F major, but sort of towards the end of each verse it kind of veers in towards D major territory, which is quite an interesting key change, and it's something that gives the song its kind of otherworldly, existential feel. There's a little turnaround at the end of the verse, which is the orchestration. The producer used it to mimic the sound of Morse code, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. Okay, let's get into it. The song itself starts with 4 bars of introduction. There's a tiny little bass riff that I'm hoping that our wonderful bass player Graham is going to put on the beginning of this. If you're doing it on a ukulele, it starts on a B flat and it goes something like, and that's all there is from that little bass riff. And then we get into the introduction, which is a bar of F and a bar of G minor 7th repeated. G minor 7th, in case you've forgotten, is 0 2 1 1. Best way to do it is to bar across the top two strings, the A and E strings, with your index finger, and use your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, like so. So we go from, and if you're going from an F, you can just flatten your finger, your index finger, and move your middle finger over one string. So from F, and that's nice. There is, on the Glen Campbell's recording, the violins are playing a little bit of a melody which goes something like this. Which you can kind of do over those chords. I'll have a go at it and see what we make of it. And if Pam plays the plain chords, then we can see how it fits together. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Let's try this. Nice. It's a very slow, gentle song, so you don't need to rush at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I am a lineman for the county. Okay, so let's say those 4 bars fit together. So if you're playing in a group, then you can apportion who's going to do what. If you've got somebody who's strong on melodies, then you might ask them to just do that. While the rest of you play just those 2 plain chords. And then when we get into the first verse, that second G minor 7th chord kind of rings over the first line of the lyric, which is I am a lineman for the county, and then you come in with a B flat major 7th chord. Again, if you need reminding, B flat major 7th is 3 2 1 0, so it's the starter, the starting pistol. So 3 2 1 0, B flat major 7th, beautiful chord, love it. And then we go to an A minor 7th. Now, of course, everybody loves A minor 7th because it's their favourite chord, like that. All 4 strings open. Well, that's fine as far as it goes, and it has merit in actually playing the A minor 7th in that position, because it fits in very well with the melody and the rest of the accompaniment. But just consider if other voicings of A minor 7th might be appropriate, or vary them around. Use the open A minor 7th sometimes, 1 or 2 of the other voicings. Another voicing for A minor 7th that I use quite frequently is 2 0 3 0. So whereas if you play an A minor 7th like open, you've got an A, a C, an E, a G, a C, an E and an A, but the G is hidden away down there. Whereas if you put it the other way up, you put the A down there and the G there. The drawback of that is that you've got 2 A's, and if you're playing with a high G, then you've got a duplication of the same note. But it's a voicing that can be used on some occasions, and the other one that I like is 0 4 5 3, because then you've got that G down there. If you play it on your high G, Pam, 0 4 5 3. Yeah. It's nice. It's a G minor shape raised 2 frets, and it's a nice voicing of A minor 7th. So that's another one that you might consider. The rest of the verse is plain and simple chords: G minor 7th, D minor 7th, A minor 7th again. And then this is at the halfway through the second line of the verse is where it slips from F into D, and it goes via a G. So if we put the verse together, Pam, and do that G minor 7th, and then let that ring over the first bit of the lyric.
Doing it from the intro.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Just that last G minor 7th.
Oh, okay.
1 2 3 4. I am a lineman for the county, A minor 7th, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. See, it goes from F through G into D, which is, so it's quite a nice progression and slightly unexpected. So for the second half of the verse, again, it's all perfectly simple: A minor 7th, G, G to G minor, so that G minor is echoing the key of F again before it resolves to a D, which is followed by an A suspended fourth. Now, A suspended fourth is 2200. Now, if you're playing your D that precedes it as 2220, then all you have to do is to remove one finger. I'm playing the D chord with those three, so I just remove my little finger. If you're playing the D chord with those three, then you just remove your ring finger. But again, it's a lovely effect. And the Wichita Lineman is still on the line. Now we go to a B flat, and this is the bit I talked about, kind of reflecting Morse code going through the wires, the telegraph wires. And it's a B flat, but not as we know it, Jim. It's a B flat, well, it's actually a B flat sixth, but we play it with a G shape raised 3 frets, so that your index and middle finger are on the 5th fret of the A and C strings, and your ring finger is on the 6th fret of the E string. But you've got the G underneath, which makes it a B flat sixth. But if you play it up there, then you've got that D note ringing out over the top of it. And if you listen to the record, you get the rhythm of Morse code, which is kind of like that. Listen to the record and you'll see how that rhythm works. I'll do it again. It's a nice syncopated rhythm, and I'd say to recreate it, you just have to listen to the recording. The chord that follows is, well, again, if you're playing in a group, some of you can play a plain A minor 7 down there, have a little rest, give your left hand a little bit of a rest. But for the people who are doing this bit up here, which can go over the top of the other people doing a plain B flat, so Pam will be doing that while I'm doing, and then the next half of that little turnaround is, well, it's a C with an added 9th, like that, which is simply 0005, which, as you've got your middle finger already there, and so that's echoing the Morse code thing. But while you're doing your C with an added 9th up here, then Pam's doing a plain A minor 7. So if we put those together, and we'll see how it sounds, just do that last line. 1, 2, 3, 4, G minor, and the Wichita Lineman is still on the line. And from there it finishes on, so your rhythm player can be playing a straight G minor 7, but if the one who's doing that stuff finishes on a C note, you can put it over the G minor 7, just add it like that, and then we go into the second verse. And I just think that little turnaround is wonderful. It really gives the song a huge punch. We then get to the second verse, which is exactly the same as the first. But one thing I should have pointed out on the first verse is playing all the way through is not necessarily such a good idea, because there are times when the lyric is happening over not very much in the accompaniment, so you can actually stop playing. You can stop playing at the end of the second line. So we get searching in the sun for another overload, and stop, I hear you singing in the wire. So don't forget the stops which again help to shape the song and give it a structure. You can even do that at the beginning, after the introduction. You can just play that G minor 7th and then sing, I am a lineman for the county, and sing over nothing the first 4 words or so. 5. I'm a lineman for 6. Call me a liar. Okay. So that to say, don't forget to incorporate those tacets into your playing. The same applies at the end of the second line of the second verse, where it goes, and if it snows that stretch down south, I'll never stand the strain, and I need you more than want you, and like that. So we get to the end of the second verse, and then we get into that Morse code bit again, which you can play exactly the same as the first time you did that up there. Now, while you're doing that up there, if you go and listen to the recording, you've got this going. So. Which is just going up to the 8th and 7th frets on the A string. So again, you can throw those in as you wish. Again, as I always say, go back and listen to the source material, the original recording, and you'll see how it fits in. And then after that second Morse code turnaround, we get into an instrumental break. Now, on the recording, Glenn Campbell plays it on the lower strings of his great big Gibson guitar and makes a lovely noise. If you try and do it on a ukulele, it does sound a bit trebly because it goes like this. It's just the melody of the verse. Well, I'm very much hoping to persuade our bass player Graham to play that instrumental melody on his bass, just to give it some bottom, and we'll strum away gently on the chords over the top of him. And hopefully, well, when we get to the play-along version, we'll see how it sounds. Okay, and then we're coming towards the end of the song, which is the last 2 lines of the second verse repeated exactly as you would have done them before. Again, don't forget a little pause in the accompaniment. It works on the third line of the verse into the 4th line, where we go, and I need you more than want you. Where am I? Yeah, D. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And stop. Play the G minor once, and the Wichita lineman, and then come back in on the D chord. So just a single strum on that G minor, and then let the vocal have its little place, little moment in the sun. So you can do that all 3 times if you want, but again, vary it and make the song more interesting for your audience. And then when we get to the end, we've just got a repeat of that Morse code figure, basically rocking between a B flat and either a C with an added 9th or an A minor 7th, until we get to the very last chord. The finale chord is unexpectedly a G, but it sounds so much better if you make it a G5, which has that D note again ringing out over the top of it, and that is 0, 2, 3, 5. And if you're going to that from a C added 9th, if you play the C added 9th with your little finger, then you're there already. actually takes a bit of practice to finger that G5, because it's a bit of a stretch up to the 5th fret on the A string with your little finger. But if you've got your little finger there already, that might help you a bit.
It does.
My finger positioning specialist here,
Yeah.
Pam, is very good at picking out and identifying places where you can anticipate by sort of using a different finger from that expected to anticipate the chord that's coming after, aren't you?
Yes, because I have to.
Well, it's whatever gets you through, really, isn't it? Whatever enhances your playing. Well, I think that's about it, really, isn't it?
It is.
Yep, wonderful song, beautiful, beautiful song, and Glenn Campbell's recording of it was without equal. Many, many people have covered this song over the years, and not one of them has got close to Glenn Campbell's original.
And neither will we.
Neither will we. Pam is so right.
Mm-hmm.
It had to happen sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
right.
been recorded now. You're saying it.
Okay. Well, we're going off to have our domestic disagreement now, and we'll see you later in the week. We'll be doing another comic song on Friday, and we'll be putting out our play-along version of this over the weekend. So if anybody wants the song sheet to this, and if anybody has any queries, you know where to come to ask, and we're happy to help, because what we do is simply spreading the ukulele joy. You know, I'd like to see everybody in the world playing the ukulele. Mm-hmm. The world will be in a much nicer place, I'm sure. But until that happy day, I hope you marked last Tuesday as being World Play Your Ukulele Day, and so we certainly did.
Yeah.
Didn't we? Okay, we'll leave you now. That's all from us for today. So it's bye from Pam.
Bye.
Bye from me. Stay safe, be kind to yourselves, and look after each other. Goodbye.